Chosen one, this message didn't stumble upon you by chance. God guided you here with intention. Perhaps you've been doubting if any of it held meaning. Perhaps you've wondered if anyone noticed the offerings, the unspoken sorrows, the instances you followed God when it demanded your all. Let this serve as your heavenly assurance. The skies witnessed everything. God beheld what others ignored. He caught every plea you murmured amid sobs. He tallied every occasion you remained steadfast when quitting would have been simpler. This isn't mere uplift. It's a celestial declaration. God takes pride in you and all you've carried out in submission, in affection, in seclusion. It's on the verge of being honored publicly. Here are 7 truths heaven urges you to grasp immediately. Before we plunge in, hit like, share, and subscribe. Because this isn't ordinary material. It's a sacred validation for the elect. And to every heart extending love via super thanks, my profound gratitude. May God enrich you abundantly. Your backing, your engagement, your commitment to remain linked aren't overlooked. You're woven into this holy revelation, and the heavens recognize you as well. If your spirit resonates with this vibration, comment 77 now. That figure isn't arbitrary. It's a holy beacon, a prophetic resonance signaling you're in sync, enlightened, and primed to claim the public recompense for all you performed in hiding. The intercessions, the surrenders, the loyalty, the quietude. Not all will endure this full message, only the genuinely selected. And those who persist will gain insight, comfort, and heavenly proof that God is proud of you. This utterance bears prophetic gravity. And if your inner being has sought a marker that your unseen toil was observed, here it is. This isn't a one-time listen you discard. It's a vibrant truth, a sacred prompt that Paradise has maintained the ledger. Replay it when your soul grows tired. Loop it when you crave fortitude. Because each hearing unveils another stratum of celestial endorsement, reminding you the heavens beheld your actions. Let's delve further. Chapter 1. God witnessed you remain upright when you could have yielded. Chosen one. We begin with the instances no crowd applauded, yet Paradise rejoiced over. The occasions you attempted to yield slightly, to ease the path or hasten results. But an inner voice declared no. That voice was the Holy Spirit. You might have opted for ease over destiny. You might have trailed the masses, diluted your convictions, selected the favored trail, but you held resolute. Even in isolation, even at great expense, God noted that no deed of compliance evaded his gaze. No offering vanished from heaven's archive. There were junctures where alluring detours appeared, gleaming outwardly yet demanding you compromise your essence. You sensed the urge to conform, to affirm, to merely participate. But you preserved your spirit untainted. You maintained pure intentions. You anchored your being in God's designation, not societal demands. That demanded immense effort. Nights of self-doubt arose. Moments you observed others thriving while you lingered in the desert. But don't be deceived. Many seized the world yet forfeited their core. You selected the timeless road. You embraced the gradual build of depth over facade. And Paradise recorded it. Angels observed you reject when your desires urged acceptance. God flagged every instance you departed from what seemed appealing because it wasn't divine. That's an uncommon resilience, rare in a realm that hails concession and prizes spectacle. You prioritized integrity over ease. You favored submission over acclaim. You chose mission over fame. And now God readies something beyond your envisioning, a recompense suited to the subdued power you exhibited. The favors en route aren't mere repayment. They're validation. Validation you weren't foolish for standing solo. Validation. Your ethical bravery wasn't squandered. You refused to yield to the world. So now Paradise inclines toward you. Chosen one, you weren't ignored. You were under scrutiny. You weren't abandoned. You were being molded. Every refusal of the improper cleared room for the proper. Every selection of honor over excess constructs a heritage Paradise can empower. Prepare yourself. What approaches isn't haphazard. It's retribution, not solely for deeds performed, but for those declined. And upon arrival, you'll comprehend precisely why the delay was essential. You didn't crumble, and now God will unveil the totality of His grace in your existence. Chapter 2. God beheld the sorrows no one else perceived. Chosen one. Some of your profoundest anguish unfolded unseen by any mortal. You bore weights wordlessly. You wept in seclusion beyond earshot. You grinned in gatherings while your core shattered. And you cherished others profoundly while sensing utterly invisible. You continued appearing when every motive screamed to withdraw. You invested in souls when your own essence ran barren. You extended empathy when you craved support yourself. You interceded for others' restoration while inwardly hemorrhaging. And miraculously, amid it all, you pressed on. You didn't shatter. You didn't surrender. You didn't revile God or grow resentful. And paradise took heed. God captured every tear. None evaporated unnoticed. The God who numbers your hairs has tallied each drop from your eyes. Every restless night, every hushed, "Lord, I'm not sure how much longer I can endure." Every effort to project strength as your interior crumbled. It was documented, retained, and accepted as a hallowed gift. Your agony wasn't futile. It formed the earth where God sowed profound roots of belief, endurance, mercy, and insight. What appeared as torment was truly consecrated sculpting. He employed the fractured zones to craft inner beauty. And while others missed the inner metamorphosis, God was forging you into someone mightier, sagacious, and spiritually potent than ever. Times you stood amid crowds yet felt utterly solitary. You waged covert struggles while others lauded your resolve. They remained unaware you led and uplifted them while scarcely intact yourself. You were drained yet devoted, fearful yet compliant, wounded yet hopeful. Such stamina stems not from mortal power. It flows from God's Spirit dwelling within. Know this, your tears didn't dissolve. They're seeds. Seeds embedded in affliction's ground. And those seeds will soon flourish into delight, rupture, and boon. God transforms every tear into testimony, every grief into gladness. Paradise unleashes renewal, not merely emotional but spiritual, mental, material. The burden you shouldered silently lifts. The survival years transition to plenty, not just for your pleas but your perseverance, because you relied on him when logic failed, because you exalted him amid flames. Honor approaches your name. Serenity returns to your heart. Joy revives your spirit. And it's not mere prize, it's divine reply. God declares, "I observed all and now I respond." Let this affirm, you were never disregarded, never erased. Indeed, your concealed sorrows elevated you to heaven's focus. And now secret acts receive open honor. The God who sustained you in the valley now guides to triumph. You wept yet persisted. You sorrowed yet adored. You fractured yet remained in God's grasp. And now he'll construct from your narrative a blessing for you in lineages ahead. God beheld the sorrows no one else did. And now all paradise mobilizes for you. Chapter 3. God observed your quietude when you could have countered. Chosen one. Instances arose where your name echoed in spaces your presence never graced. Individuals distorted your motives. They ridiculed your progress. They mistook your gentleness for frailty and mocked your restraint. They narrated their version, casting you as antagonist. You possessed the truths, the proofs, the records. Yet rather than retort, you withdrew. That decision wasn't simple but sacred. You weren't voiceless in silence. You preserved your voice, deeming it too precious for those determined to misconstrue. Such discipline isn't innate, it's ethereal. You entrusted your standing to God. You yielded the dispute, the tribunal, the verdict. And upon doing so, paradise intervened. God noted when your reputation suffered while you knelt, pleading against resentment. He saw betrayal's tears. He saw you restrain when falsehoods assaulted your integrity. You didn't strike back. You didn't publicize. You didn't ignite conflict. You allowed God to wage war. And that, chosen one, is power that rattles the unseen. The adversary craved your explosion, your forfeiture of grace. But you remained composed. And in composure, God orchestrated unseen, in depths beyond sight. Others erred your quiet for frailty. God viewed it as sagacity. They deemed retreat. You were realigned. Rewards released now for your response to mistreatment. You could have descended but ascended. You could have battled verbally. You selected adoration instead, and paradise eternally recalls such poise. It's restraint that readies for advancement. Now God crafts beyond apology. He forges renewal, elevation, and its arrival brings no vengeance. It brings tranquility, ecstasy, undeniable grace even foes must concede. This transcends vindication. It's righteousness. You prioritized spirit over persona. You trusted God with what you might have mended alone. Thus he'll soon thunder in your life, silencing every falsehood with victory's roar. Your quiet wasn't void. It was hallowed. Now it resounds in paradise like a herald. Soon lying lips will behold God's open blessing. Not retribution, redemption. You held tongue. Now God proclaims. You stayed untainted. Now God advances. You remained loyal. Now God completes. Chosen one. Your quiet wasn't frailty. It was reverence. And paradise witnessed all. Chapter 4. God beheld how you cherished even when unreciprocated. Chosen one, there exists a love solely from above, the sort that persists unreturned, rejected, overlooked. And that's the love you bestowed. You emptied yourself for those who never uttered thanks. You granted mercy to silent ones. You pledged fidelity to those who abandoned you in need. Yet you cherished, through letdowns, through their stagnation, without craving affirmation, not easily, but because God's Spirit resided in you. It wasn't frailty, it was combat. Each choice of love over justified wrath waged ethereal battle. You proved your heart unpoisonable. No act could warp your nature into pain's mirror. God saw you remain soft when the world anticipated hardness. He saw stringless giving, checking on those who ignored you, remaining in lives that marginalized you. He saw post-love tears for the unavailable, distant, indifferent. He saw self-questioning moments. Why give abundantly yet receive scant? Because you mirrored God, chosen one. Your love wasn't squandered. It was observed. Paradise logged every kindness, every uplift, every pain sharing while your own quietly ravaged. You thought unseen, unimportant, but God saw. It mattered immensely. You didn't cease loving despite imbalance. You refused unkindness to remake you. You kept heart open, love warm. That renders you exceptional in a bitter, fractured world. Your heart remains miracle-ready soil. Now faith-given love returns, not from originals but heaven-selected substitutes. God encircles you with respect-rooted, loyal, honorable, truthful love, nourishing, not depleting, covering as you covered. Expect new entrants who perceive, treasure, love unconditionally. This restores what you freely gave. Your vessel refills to overflow in divine ties, aligned fellowship. God rewards love not equally abundantly. You loved sans acclaim, forgave sans résolution, gave expecting nil. Now chosen one, receive reflecting God's heart. The world withheld, but paradise repays. Purely, purposefully, truly. Chapter 5. God observed you so when nearly empty. Chosen one, let's address true offering. Not convenient, but costing all. You gave lacking for self, shared amid secret strife, invested in others praying for reciprocation. Yet none came, you continued. Even cup low, you vessels. That was belief, submission, love enacted. You planted quietly, not from abundance, surrender. Your gift wasn't merely monetary, spiritual, time to drainers, prayer to non-prayers, last energy to build, uplift, serve. Unapplauded, unnoticed except by God. Paradise saw generosity over self-guard. You didn't hoard in fear, gave in trust. Not for visibility, for obedience. Not comfort, covenant. Recalling scripture, sparse sowing, sparse reaping. Bountiful sowing, bountiful reaping. You trusted despite pain. Now chosen one, it returns. Not drops, crumbs, flood. Pain sown seed positions, peace harvest. Ground seemed arid, spiritually rich. You sowed into destiny, not just people. Obedience ripples unseen realms. Sacrifice secures future, kin, heritage blessings. You gave sans overflow, that's why paradise entrusts it now. Gave in hurt, receive in healing. Sowed bleeding, reap whole. God tracked every quiet exchange. Unsolicited help, prayer, uplift when you needed most. Such heart rare. Such giving stirs paradise. Such trust unleashes divine increase. Deem nothing wasted. No seed unseen. No obedience void. Secret planning blooms publicly. Harvest exceeds needs. Not just supply, proof. Proof God honors offering, rewards loyalty, sees unseen service. Chosen one, prepare. You aced drought-giving test. Now enter divine deluge season. Not earned, endured. Paradise responds uniquely. Chapter 6. God saw you men sans resolution. Chosen one. This journey phase demanded strength beyond comprehension. Not loud, quiet. You mourned unresolved. Released unaccountable. Learned breathing in once suffocating spaces. Why deserved? Will truth emerge? Yet you selected mending. Not fair, sensible, but refusing brokenness to define. Refusing silence to rob peace. Lacked deserved closure, apology, acknowledgement, clarity. Gained greater peace. Ceased replaying, began reconstructing. Halted answer chasing, pursued wholeness. Didn't erase hurt overnight. Didn't forget. Decided freedom outweighed their admission. From holy source, God's spirit, paradise or public smiling inner battles. Unsent drafts, silence not wordless, war-weary. Floor tears pleading release. Flesh clung. You chose his narrow grace, forgiveness, surrender path. Waited no sorry, no fix. Let God write you. Divine poise, kingdom might, wounds, betrayals, vanished talks, exits. At God's feet he healed inwardly, now lighter. clearer. Defined by God's use of brokenness, not theirs. Wisdom, purpose, healing witness others need. Divine fact, closureless healing, paradise's pinnacle honor. Trusted God to end chapter people wouldn't. Believed future surpassed pain. Makes you formidable. Nothing halts God healed over human mended. Chosen one, no longer wounded walker. Free strider, joy carrier, promise stepper. Unsurprised if closure deniers witness rise. Not malice evidence, God's healing trumps validation. Bitterness-free advance, freedom from God filling, not people fixing. Chapter 7, God will soon honor you publicly. Chosen one, every sacred path reaches where secret yields open reward. Your time arrives. Every unheard whisper prayer, every unexpected kindness, every help amid hurt, every obedience over acclaim, humility over hype, sanctity over concession choice. Paradise noted, now responds. God watched hidden labor, faithful unclapped, served unseen, gave unrecognized, planted silently. Now silent errors roar, harvest present. Not chance, secret laid life result, closed door surrendered heart. Spotlight absent, God-honoring soul. Thought forgotten, overlooked, truth preserved. Not denied, refined. What God readies demands silence forged character weight. Now unstoppable, undelayable, undeniable release. Chosen one season flips, not slowly. Abruptly locked doors fling wide. Dismisses witness God's work. Not self-proof, God-proof through you. Shows world obedience over shortcuts, purity over fame, sacrifice over self-hype. Your table bears your name. Righteousness reserved, angel guarded, paid fully, not currency, surrender, tears, yes. Seating reveals not just prize. Confirmation, divine marker, endurance, release, weight, never vain. Table not ego, evidence. God honors honorers. Obedience overflows. Hidden loyalty noticed. Don't diminish. Don't regret God's impending acts. Don't doubt incoming boons. Not fortune. Not fluke. Covenant. God fulfills word before story enders. Not flex blessing. Promise purpose, ancient prophetic fulfillment. Paradise applauds now. Not perfection. Faithfulness. You remained, served, stood, endured. Now visibility time. Prepare favor pursuit. Honor chase. Effortless answers. Striveless pour.